Everyone, Sean Patrick here. Tonight, I want to share with you a very personal story from my childhood that was a very pivotal moment in my life. It forever changed the way I view myself, the way I view self-doubt, and the way I view believing in myself. Now, I want to say something about self-doubt really quick. Self-doubt is one of the most toxic and poisonous things you can indulge in inside here. It's this voice inside of you that tells you you're not good enough, you're not strong enough, you can't do it, you don't have what it takes. You're dumb, you're ugly, you're fat, you're a loser, you're not worth anything. Or that you're an imposter. Or that you might as well just give up because it's not going to happen. Whatever it is you're after, whatever it is you want to accomplish, whatever is in your heart, self-doubt will rob you of that. It'll make you quit before you ever even tried. It's worse than failing. To never have tried is worse than failing. So, before I get too into that, I think I better get back to the story I want to tell. Now, as a child growing up in a very small mountain town in northwest Montana, I was a little bit different. I mean, shit, I still am very different as a person than a lot of the peers around me. But as a child, I didn't understand that this was a strength. I always thought of it as a bad thing, as like a weakness. As something that I should be ashamed of. So, I was teased and bullied about this, growing up. Called things like dumb, and ugly, weird. And you know what? Maybe I was a little weird. Maybe I was kind of naive and shit, I'm not Brad Pitt, so maybe to some I was ugly, but I don't know. Others might disagree with that. So, here goes. I was in my 5th grade class, sitting at my desk, doodling, sketching, doing what I normally do, when the teacher stands up and starts walking around the class and handing out this assessment test. She goes to our desks one by one, handing them to us, and she goes up in front of us and says, "All right, children, we're going to take an assessment test now to see where you guys are at in your education and what your skills are in reading and writing and yada, yada, yada." So I take the test, and I'm kind of excited. I want to do well. I want to make my parents proud. I want to make myself proud. I want to see how good I am. But deep down inside, I didn't really believe in myself fully. So we take the test, and that's that. And a couple days later, before class gets out, the teacher looks at me and says, "Sean, I want you to come in after class. I need to talk to you." And I do. I remember how nervous I felt going in there. Like, oh, am I in trouble? What, is something going on? I kind of knew it was something to have to do with the test. So I go in there. She says, "Sean, I want to talk to you about your test results." Instantly, tears start swelling up in my eyes. I start feeling that feeling of defeat and failure, and the tightening in my chest and the rumbling in my gut. And I lost it. I was a very emotional child, and this was not very uncommon for me to do. And I just started crying. And I could hear the voices of the bullies and the people that teased and taunted me in my head, telling me I was dumb, I was stupid. And I look up at her with tears rolling down my face, and I say, "I knew it. I knew it. I'm stupid. That's it, isn't it?" She reached out and she touched me on the shoulder. She said, "No, Sean, that's not what this is about. You scored higher on the test than any other student in the class. I want to talk to your parents about that. I want to talk to you about that. This information hit me like a ton of bricks. All this time I'd been doubting myself. I'd been believing I was stupid, believing I wasn't good enough. Feeling in my heart that I was less than what I was. I realized that day, wow, I'm not stupid. I'm actually smart. I just never knew I was smart. I never knew that. I always thought I was stupid. Naturally, my parents were pretty proud, as parents are. It doesn't take much to make my parents proud. But it left a mark on me. And the whole point of this story wasn't to say, oh, look how smart I was. It was to show that no matter what that voice inside of our head says, no matter what we think of ourselves in our heart, no matter what other people might say to us, any of these things that are negative, doubting ourselves, not believing in ourselves, it just may not be true. You just may not know. You never know until you try. And even if you fail, that's just one try, So this moment really affected me. And even though throughout my middle school and high school years I still kind of fucked off and didn't care about my homework or my tests and shit. At one point I was even in remedial classes in special ed. Just because I didn't care enough about the schoolwork to do well. But deep down inside, I knew I had something. That's something nobody could take from me. And it wasn't necessarily the test telling everyone that I was advanced and smart and past the other children in my grade. It was the fact that I got proven wrong. That always kind of stayed with me. I think there's something to take from that. You might find yourself in the same position, You might be flipping burgers at McDonald's. And you might be a musical genius and never know it because you never picked up an instrument. You might be a brilliant artist. But you don't know that because you never painted or never drawed anything. You never tried to develop that skill. There's greatness in all of us. We just have to find it and we have to nurture it. And when we tell ourselves that that's not me, I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, I'm not attractive enough, I'm not, talented enough. It only takes a simple attempt to prove ourselves wrong. That's probably the best thing you can do. Is prove yourself wrong. If you doubt yourself, prove yourself wrong. Forget about what everybody else thinks or says, because they don't know. They've got their own battles. They've got their own things they got to prove to themselves. But you got to prove to yourself that you're wrong when you doubt yourself. So, I just wanted to share that because, I don't know, it was just a very personal moment. And it just goes to show, You could be wrong about yourself. Well, I hope this little story's helped. I hope you take something from it.